What's up, everyone? This is Shakir Ramsey from RamseySpeaksTV. I'm very excited today. I'm with a very good friend of mine, Aaron Holliday. You don't know what type of opportunity this is. This guy has got a great background, went to Morehouse. While he was there, he was able to start and sell a software company, grew his career at Goldman Sachs, leading a software development initiative on their trading platform. He came to the Johnson School where I met him, and he was the Chief Operating Officer of Big Red Venture Fund, which is one, if not the only student-run fund in the nation. Aaron, so thank you for being here.
Thank you for
I just want to jump right into it. Why venture capital? Why is it so important to you? Why have you made it your life mission?
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. Venture capital is not something that I've known about all my life. It's something that I learned about just 4 years ago. It's just not one of those career paths that are really talked about in neighborhoods like I grew up in. But what I have been passionate about for an extremely long time is technology and how technology is changing the world. And the way venture capital fits into that is venture capitalist helps to build businesses, form businesses, seed businesses with capital, and help them grow and commercialize. And that's something that I'm incredibly excited about. It allows me to bring together several of my skills, relationships with several people to connect the right people to build a company. The technical aspects of venture, I look at industries in financial technology and digital media, particularly internet TV, all of which maps back to my technical expertise. I have a degree in computer science. So just different components of venture capital is what really gets me going, and just the ability to help identify, find, and grow breakthroughs in society is something that I'm excited about.
What does venture capitalism have to do with leadership? And let me step back for a second. You know, when you think of companies that are highly distressed, you have a CEO that comes in and turns it around, leadership, right? Or a guy that has an idea, he starts as an entrepreneur, he has to start from nothing. Leadership, venture capital, what and how does that connect to leadership?
Leadership is broadly defined. You know, everyone, you know, in their own right can consider themselves a leader or a master of something. But for venture capital, I feel that it fits in a bucket of visionaries, and that's why I feel I'm drawn to it, because it requires the ability to see the invisible, right? To see the future, to be able to influence people, to give capital, and to work incredibly hard for something that doesn't exist yet. And as a result, you have several breakthroughs and changes in social behavior. And so I think as it relates to leadership, you know, most of the people who work in venture capital, particularly those who lead venture capital funds, are visionaries.
As you know, I'm very interested in urban incubators. You know, taking well-connected investors such as yourself and bringing them into communities where I feel there's a great deal of talent. What does venture capital have to do with inner cities or other types of communities that might not be venture capital targets? Is there an opportunity there, or no?
You know, I'll be blunt, very transparent, very direct, like I am with most people. There is not much of a connection. Venture capitalists are not the saving grace, and a venture capitalist by him or herself will not seed and just create a great business. Venture capitalists look for market opportunities, and just so happen the greatest businesses come from places where there are high concentration of highly motivated, highly educated individuals. So what I'm getting to is the solution is not a venture capital in the neighborhood. The solution is premier education in the neighborhood. If you can begin to fuel a community with the intellectual resources and intellectual capital, people who have access to resources to educate a community, then you are beginning to be at a stage where people can be much more innovative, much more collaborative, which can ultimately result in idea generation and business formation. Then you bring in your venture capitalists.
So you tell a community that's under siege economically, financially, in terms of resource, etc., to first start with education?
Well, So first start, I would actually say first start in the home, right?
Okay.
The family. If the family structure is not in place, like a supportive family structure, then you will have a very difficult time for the children or the people in that family to survive and to thrive if you don't have a very supportive structure. So first, I think at the bare minimum, at the ground level, it starts with the home, family structure, a sound foundation there. Then education. A family that make sure these families believe in education and go beyond at any end to educate their children and to continue to educate themselves. That's the root, right? And innovation will come, right? Because you'll have people who have the fostered horsepower intellectually to build something.
Okay. How, if there is someone watching out there that wants to get into venture capital, we both know that it's a very difficult industry to get into. Where do they start? What, is there a book? Is there contacts? Is there just where do you begin to learn about this industry and see if the skill set you have is a match?
It's a very, very small industry. It's as you mentioned, it's incredibly difficult to get into. I actually wouldn't recommend people go after it, right?
Wow.
It's not for everybody. But where do you start to figure out if you're one of the crazy people like myself and a few others out here who want to go after this industry? There's tons of resources online that you should read, that you should become familiar with before you even talk to a venture capitalist. I would start by reading the Bulk Guide to Venture Capital to kind of get a formal understanding of the industry and how it works. And then go and start reading blogs. Read Fred Wilson's blog. Read Mark Sister's blog. Read.
Don't you have a blog?
Read my blog. Sleep is for the Weak. aholiday.com.
You heard it.
Shameless shout out for myself. But yeah, read blogs. Read VentureBeat. Read TechCrunch. Read Crunchbase. And begin to educate yourself on what companies are being funded. Have an opinion, a thesis on why these companies are being funded. Have a thesis on what you think venture capitalists should be investing in. What breakthroughs are you familiar with, or what breakthroughs do you see happening, right? And again, to be able to think in this way, one, you have to be a visionary, right? To be able to see what doesn't exist in the world, and also have, in my opinion, a educational base to be able to conceive the thoughts of what's actually feasible.
There you have it. One of our best at the Johnson School at Cornell University. This guy is trailing paths in venture capital and otherwise, a leader in our community. You heard what he said. Venture capital ties to leadership in very direct ways, but you have to educate yourself first. Make sure you have a family base to lead from as you go out into the world and figure out what it is important to you. But venture capital is an opportunity if you care, if you're passionate enough, if you're willing to overcome some of those difficult challenges. This is RamseySpeaks.com. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, be good.